Hello,
Hi,
beautiful people.
and welcome back to Then and Now.
Yes. Welcome back, guys. We hope everybody has had a good week. So far, Thursdays are good days, so it's like pre-Fridays.
Yeah, you're like pre-Friday, you're almost there, you're getting through your work week, you're ready to go, and you just have to last one more day.
Yeah, it's like, for me, sometimes, depending on the week, it's like the day before you go on vacation.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, kid in the candy store. But anyways, that's our spiel about Thursdays.
Yeah.
This episode, we're going to get into, like we talked about last week, our friendship.
Yeah, and our journey and
how we're here now.
We're here now.
Yeah, what a beautiful,
no, I'm
what a
kidding.
beautiful thing. Yeah, we were
then and now, guys, then and now. It's definitely been a then to now.
We're the worst when it comes to that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
For sure there was a then and completely different.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Completely different, but you know.
Let's start to the OG days.
OG?
So, we both went to Georgia College in Milledgeville, and we met in a bridge program. So this,
which is a
little lowdown.
Which is basically summer school.
Yeah, so you go right after, well, if you do a gap year, you wait, but like we went right after we graduated high school in, was it May? It was like mid-May. Yeah, because I had like 2 weeks after graduation.
No, it's because I went on my graduation trip to Europe, came back for 2 weeks, and went straight to there.
Yeah, so.
Exactly 2 weeks. That was hard.
Pretty much mid-May, you're like, you go into this program and you take 3 classes. So one's like a basic college class.
Welcome to college.
Like fundamentals of college, which, what? But anyways.
If you didn't pass that, you just didn't try.
Yeah.
Like, you literally just didn't try.
And then there was like 2 core classes you had to take. So we ended up in the same, it was like different cohorts. Yeah. So we were in the same cohort, cohort
3.
I always want to say C.
I know.
I knew you were about to say C, but
yeah, cohort
3, and we took a criminal justice class
and a philosophy
class. But
we had the easiest cohort out of every. There was like 6, and we had the easiest one. I think so.
Yeah, so we all stayed in like the apartments. West Campus is what it was called.
The dorms were basically apartment style, so we didn't really have like we didn't have to like live together in one little cubicle.
Yeah. So nice. And the bridge program was pretty much like an interview to see if you could do college.
Yeah,
like,
and that was hard, bro.
You had to pass these classes so they could see that you could pass college classes.
You had to get a C, like a C is passing. So I'm like,
and you know,
sitting there and I'm like, I'm not good in school. I'm gonna fail, and then I lucked out and I got the easiest cohort and I just literally BS my way through.
I remember getting like the email from Georgia College and being like, oh my gosh, I got in. And then I like read the email, like
the disappointment.
Yeah, and it was like, you got into the bridge program. And I was like, oh, this is embarrassing.
But with the bridge program, you still had to go through like an interview. You still had to write like another paper. You had to go to the school, and we probably crossed paths before that too. We probably did like the interview at the same time, because like you go in and you're sitting. I don't know why I remember this so vividly. Like you walk in and it's like one row of like 4.
It's literally a panel of people.
4 professors, and like, why do you want to go here? I'm like, I don't know. I just want to get out of my hometown.
Get into college? Question mark. Yeah.
Anyway,
you're gonna cut that.
Nah, I don't care.
So I just like being in the bridge program, it was fun because you got to, there was like a bunch of people, like what, 400, 150 maybe. That was a big jump, but
yeah.
So you got to kind of meet people before you went to college, and we met some really cool people.
We met some great people. We lived with them for pretty much 2 years, I would say.
But yeah, so Tracy and I had a class together. Well, we were in the same cohort, so like, I guess we had met in the first day of class.
We met the first day because a homegirl turns around, looks at me, and asks if she could borrow a pencil. On the first day of college classes, I was like, yeah, I got like a whole pack.
I literally don't even know how I will say I'm pretty organized and stuff, but my I guess school toxic trait would be I always was not prepared with like pencils and pens.
Yeah.
like never prepared. And you like now that we're friends and stuff, you love your like pins and
I
stuff.
do. I like every year I would get new pins.
Yeah, she's like, it's about time to load back up on the pins. I was like, you just bought a new pack. Why are you buying different? So then she'd give me all her old pins, and I'm like, free pins, let's go.
I literally was obsessed with them because I'd like write them to literally they were done. Yeah. In the study room. Besides,
as you're literally writing till the pins run out, and I'm over there doing jumping jacks in the study room.
We sat in those study room for hours at Georgia College, hours and hours, and I loved it.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we met in class. I needed a pencil, and then we became bestie boos.
Basically.
And we all like, as we said, lived in the apartment or the West Village. So I don't even know. We like there was another girl beside you, and she was writing really cool, and I was like, oh my gosh, like
we bonded over how we liked
calligraphy,
her.
and so we all kind of started talking, and then all of us girls just became really close.
Yeah, and there was like 4 of us, and one of the girls lived with another girl. And we all would start going up to their apartment literally every single day.
Yeah, I lived there pretty much.
Yeah, Lex lived on the 2nd floor, and I lived down the hall on the 3rd floor. And we literally would just all go to their apartment because they all 3 lived together. Yeah. And we would just stay there for hours, probably binge watching Love Island or
oh my gosh. If I could explain my freshman year of college, it was literally Love Island UK.
No, literally.
Love Island
It
UK.
was straight up Love Island UK.
All I did was
I remember I came back one day and I left for class at I think 7:30. I didn't get back because I had a full day of classes. I got back at 3:30 and they were on the couch, same position, watching it. And I was like, y'all watched it without me. I was like, what?
And we started on Tommy and Molly Mae's season. I remember that was the first season of Love Island I ever watched, and I went back and I've watched every season of UK.
Me too.
Love that show.
I think except season 1. I didn't like season 1, but
I haven't. I never. Oh wait, maybe I didn't watch season 1.
I just didn't like it. I think it's because all the other ones got advanced, and I was like, eh.
Yeah, I might still go back and watch it, but yeah. So then all of us girls moved into a house our sophomore year.
Yeah, and that was 6 of us.
Yeah, there were 6 of us girls living in one house.
Let me just tell you, that was a lot. But I think this is also when our friendship got, like, super close because in the house, like, you walk in and then you, like, turn right down the hall, and it was 2 rooms across from each other and a bathroom. And we had the 2 rooms that were across from each other.
And then we shared a 2x2 bathroom that was smaller than...
And we shared that with another girl. So there was 3 of us in that one bathroom.
Yeah.
And it was the smallest bathroom in the freaking house, and we shared it with them, or share it with 3 of us, which I don't care. Me and her were fine. It was just like us 3. It was like, it was tight.
Yeah, it was just, I mean, I've really come to appreciate, like, bathroom space.
Yeah, me too.
And there was no bathroom space.
No, I think about it, I'm
storage.
like, I don't know how I did that.
I had, but that was back when I was, like, facial care and hair care.
Gosh. Me and my other roommate had to literally show her.
I never washed, I washed my face with water my whole life. Until I met these people. Until I met the girls.
I had, like, Cetaphil, CeraVe, like, lotion, topicals, and like, all, like, in my little, like, drawer, and she's like, here's a hairbrush. I'm like, what the... Like, are you kidding me?
I grew up with a bunch of brothers.
I grew up with brothers too, bro. I don't know what you mean.
I blame my mom. Okay. I just, I don't know, I guess I never really needed it until, I guess I started breaking out in college, so then I was like, I need facial care. And then y'all were like, you need this kind of hair shampoo and conditioner.
No,
your hair shampoo and conditioner is not good.
She would use... like 10-cent shampoo and conditioner from Dollar General. I was like, dude.
Dollar Tree. Dollar General is
I'm sorry.
over $1.
That just shows how cheap you are. No. It was like 90 cents. No, wait.
Yeah, it was like the VO one.
And it'd be on sale.
Man, I am judging myself now. Now that I take care of my hair. I will say I would judge me if I was an outsider. But... I was living off of Shane's Rib Shack income.
Okay.
But then I bumped it up to that $11 an hour.
I was making my whatever it was, 25, 15. No, I don't even think I made it to 825. I think I made it 815.
And neither of us were getting allowances. So what were you?
I know.
We were buying your stuff.
I had savings. I had a lot of savings.
I didn't. I don't like touching my savings. That's
I didn't. I just like had it and I kept it there, and then I had like when I graduated, I got all that money from graduation. Oh yeah. So I just saved all that, kept all that, and then I got a job right when I got to college. So it just kept coming up. My $8 an hour.
I am cheapo. Honestly, I like my cheapness. I do.
It makes life
But
easier.
I'm not nasty cheap anymore. That's nasty cheap. Yeah, honestly, that's kind of...
You know the show on TLC where it's like, they're like super cheap, like they'll barely do anything? Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm talking about? I forgot. I think, Extreme Cheapskate.
Cheapskate.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's not that extent, but it could be close sometimes.
Okay, me a couple years ago, yeah. I feel like I've got...
No, not now. I'm saying back then.
I buy Zara jeans now.
Oh my gosh. She buys one pair of Zara jeans and she's like, ambitious.
I mean, I try not to spend over a certain amount on like pants or clothes in general.
Yeah, I know. You'll find like $5 jeans and I'm like,
catch me in the thrift store and I'll find some good stuff. Anyways, nobody wants to hear about my stuff.
I know. Let's get back.
Squirrel.
Oh my
so we live in this house. Honestly, like we had sleepovers every single night.
It was a solid 6 months.
Yeah, it was fun. We had.
Oh my gosh.
Like me, her, and our other friend, we would like literally sleep in Tracy's bed.
Yeah, like, and this is when my dog moved in with us too.
Yeah, we just had sleepovers and we were all living in the same house. We broke Tracy's bed.
Yeah, I literally
we slept. We all three. Arguing. It like concaved in the middle.
And they would yell at me and they're like, I'm literally sinking. I'm like, no, it's not.
We would argue about who was sleeping on what side.
Yeah, it would be, I'd be like, I'm sleeping on my side. I don't care. It was 3 of us. We were sardine in this bed for 3.5 months straight. When we like finally went back to our own rooms, it was weird.
I don't even know why we were doing that.
I don't either. I think because
one
us
night
three
we were talking really late and then we all fell asleep and then we were like, it was just kind of a comfort.
Were we all trauma bonded by something? No, not at all. We just wanted to do it. I don't know. There's no reason for that, but we did it.
But that's when we got really, I feel like pretty close.
That was, I think,
And I mean, I feel like we opened up to each other like pretty soon into our friendship, which if y'all listen 2 weeks ago, I like had to open up to Tracy like really soon into our friendship.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like that's when we like really got to know each other. We got to know our backgrounds a little bit better and became like really close friends. And I was like, this chick's gonna be my friend for life. And then one day we were like, I think we were studying or something, and I don't know if you said it. I think maybe you said it, but I knew Milledgeville was not a place for me to be able to get. What?
We'll just,
for me.
Okay, keep going.
Reverse. But I knew Milledgeville like wasn't a place where I was gonna be able to find a job or anything. And then you had mentioned like going because you were doing sports management as your
we were
and you
at the
needed
gym.
to move places, or you needed to move a college to get the right major, right?
Yeah, I wanted to go into sports. Like, I wanted to do sports management and sports business, and I was, like, looking up places, and my mom graduated from Georgia State, so I was like, ooh, like, what about Georgia State? Like, they have a lot of opportunities, and I told Lex, I was like, I think I want to transfer. And then after that, we were both like, wait, why don't we transfer?
And I was like, I want a good job. So
we came back, and I kind of missed my dad and my brother.
Yeah, and then honestly, I wanted to move to New York my freshman year and do college there, so I always wanted to do this city life. And so Atlanta was like going to be the closest I was going to get. And I was like, let's do it. And man, I am so glad I lived there because I am not a city girl.
No, I'm not a city girl.
Like we both have realized we moved into like a townhome right by Bobby Dodd Stadium, so Georgia Tech Stadium.
And at first it was just going to be us two.
Yeah.
And then
we were like, this is so cute. Oh my gosh.
I love this. No,
that was area. Our rent was like $450, so I don't know how we didn't.
And we thought that was expensive.
That was bad in Atlanta. Well, in Atlanta, that's pretty good.
No, that's amazing in Atlanta
for a townhome. So the fact that we moved in somewhere for $450.
Yeah, I was.
But we're all alive.
That was okay. We have some stories.
Like we had a Ring camera, and y'all.
Oh, dude, that's the first story that just popped in my
head. This lady
walks
walks by us. or walks by the ring camera, and we were on like a main street. You could walk to Centennial Park from Bobby Dodd to Centennial Park with the Ferris wheel, and somebody was walking by, and when you turn in the sidewalk, there's like a way into our neighbor's apartment and then our apartment.
And it's like our front,
and it's like the
front
back,
doors.
Yeah, the front door. Someone walks by and goes into our neighbor's bushes, and it's like a direct view of our ring camera. Pulls their pants down. We see this in the video. Pulls their pants down. Were they going number 2? They started going number 2. The neighbor's bushes.
The only reason I remember that is because they blamed our dogs.
Oh yeah, and then because they get mad because Beamer would go and poop over there. Her dog. And they were like, "Yeah, your dog pooped behind our bush," and we were like, "Ma'am, we have evidence."
I literally sat there and I looked at the camera for like 30 minutes and I was like, this isn't real. I was like, there's no way this is real.
Yeah.
It was, oh gosh, it was so bad.
That was, the ring camera, honestly, get a ring camera just for the videos. They're so funny. We were all, like, all 4 of us, the girls that all lived there, we were all together, but we were out or doing something.
Yeah.
And one of the, like, somebody had it on notifications and y'all pulled it up and we were... I about peed my pants laughing.
I was dying. I wish I could relive watching that for the first time because it was so funny. I was like, what in the heck is going on? Atlanta, guys.
Yeah,
Atlanta. That's it. That's just it.
You never know what you're going to get.
But in the Atlanta townhome, it was a 4-bedroom, like 2.5 bath type thing. But with how it worked, 2 of the girls shared a bathroom, and then one of us would get the
bathroom was in a common area.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And it was like supposed to be like the 3 of us sharing it, but ended up I shared the bathroom that was in
my room. Like literally in my room. In direct view of my bed.
Okay.
So Tracy likes to wobble in at 2 a.m. and turn our bathroom light on and pop a squat, and I wake up. I wear goggles at night, so I wear a face cover. Thankfully I did that.
Oh my gosh.
My gosh. One night I woke up and I direct view of just Tracy on the toilet. And I was like, it's 2 a.m. Turn the light off. Shut the door.
I just didn't. Listen, at this point, guys, to be fair, we were so close at this point that we just didn't care.
Yeah, that's true.
Because at some points in Atlanta, you came and slept in my room sometimes too.
Yeah, I don't like sleeping alone. That's why I bought a 130-pound bear who sleeps with me. Actually,
at least
I guess I do like sleeping alone, but Atlanta's scary. So.
Yeah, Atlanta. We've had
Milledgeville. I was just going through it, so
me too.
I need some friends to sleep over with.
Oh gosh, that's so funny.
But yeah, Atlanta was really when we hit like a rough patch in our friendship, and I feel like. We were both kind of, like, I was on edge a lot just in life and when we were in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And we were drinking back then a lot, so that didn't help. So we'd get in a lot more arguments.
We were drinking a lot.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of our arguments were stemmed off of nights that we were drinking. And we were, like, fighting, like, really often.
Yeah. It was, like, I think almost every weekend we were having an argument about, and it was something dumb, too. Like, I couldn't even tell you half the arguments we were even having because they were that dumb. Mm-hmm. It was like
really small ones, but then they turned into big ones. And I feel like, I don't know. Honestly, I'm trying to like go back, but I feel like a lot of it was like built up not talking if something did bother us with each other. And then we just like, I mean, for me at least, I would take it out in the wrong way.
I think a lot of times it was also like, you were tippy-toeing around me about certain things because you thought you were going to, like, hurt my feelings if you told me. And I didn't want to say it to you because I didn't want to make you mad. Yeah. So, like, I was trying to tippy-toe around you and you were trying to tippy-toe around me.
Literally, because she's,
and then we just went,
and that showed how opposite, I feel like we really learned so much in that season about each other because I'm such a tough-love person.
Yes.
And you were such a, like, I don't want to lose people. Like,
I was sensitive.
You know, you were a little bit more sensitive.
I was a lot more sensitive.
It was cool because, like, coming out of that season, we've, like, literally learned so much in how, we are and just, I don't know. So, I feel like the fighting season obviously was not good, but it was kind of good in the outcome of we've learned a lot in how we are individually.
I think we learned a lot about each other also in the sense of, like, one, how we communicate, like what you said too, and two, just kind of how we both need to, like, if we got in arguments now, like, if I know, like, she needs time, I'll just be like, okay.
Yeah.
Because I used to push. I'd be like, you need to talk. She'd be like, leave me alone. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, bye, I'll leave you alone. And then, like, for me, she, like, kind of knows, she's like, okay, you need to let it out.
Yeah.
Like, just talk about it. And then I think that was something that was big, a stepping stone in Atlanta, because, like, I remember one night we were in my car screaming. Straight up screaming at each other.
Yeah, that was like our only scream fight. I think like.
So.
We never really got like. No, it was in my room, not your car. It
started in your room and it ended up in my car because everybody was over and we were like, we don't need to have people like hearing us argue. And
I don't even know why we were arguing either.
Oh, I couldn't tell you why either. This was almost like 2.5 years ago now.
Yeah. Was it? Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Oh, I can't.
Now.
But yeah, I mean, it goes to show you too, because I feel like those were like we were both in really rocky places individually in life, and then also just not having the healthiest lifestyles on top of that.
Yeah, I definitely think a lot of the arguments stem from alcohol being involved as well.
Yeah,
because
I agree.
Then, like, I mean, people are like, oh, you get liquid courage and you just say the truth. Well, yeah. I mean,
yeah, but I believe that, but I also think it's just not, like, in a healthy manner.
Oh, no,
and it's healthy when you can speak to your friends in the right mind and you can have open dialogue in your friendships. And I feel like that's what we came out of in that season of being able to, like, finally just be able to say everything to each other.
Yeah.
And, like, I didn't, like, after that, I feel like we talked through a lot of stuff where I felt like I was able to tell you hard things that I couldn't have told you before. And
I also grew a backbone.
Yeah, we got
more
Tracy,
of a backbone.
We got Tracy in the gym on the back. I'm just kidding.
Back and by.
My tough love could have been a little bit more graceful in that season.
I mean, it kind of was just like how you cope for things, and I understood that too, and it was more of a. I think you were also battling things internally. Yeah. So, like, you wouldn't talk about it, but I'd be like, no, you need to talk about it. And then you'd be like, I don't want to. And then it would just be going back and forth, and we'd, like, not argue, but you'd be like, okay, let it out. And then she's like, oh, I feel better. And I was like...
Who would have thought?
I was like, oh, that's crazy. I was
talked about it and you feel better.
I was like, I told you that you would feel better. But, you know, that's fine. Besides the point.
But, yeah, so after Atlanta, we moved to Smyrna and to a house in Smyrna.
We've lived so many
we bumped
places.
around a lot. But, yeah, I feel like Smyrna was, like, a good season. I feel like that's, like, when I think last was, like, a little bit more light-filled in our lives. And,
yeah.
Well, for me personally. But yeah, we moved into Smyrna, and I don't know, we both worked at, like, a restaurant that conjoined in the back. And it was, like, two separate restaurants, like, brother-sister restaurant, and then, like, kitchen connected.
Which we thought was going to be hard to, like, work with each other while living together. It actually wasn't bad at all. Like, we didn't...
I barely saw you.
We never saw each other, and then we'd both come home, and then we'd probably be in each other's room for another hour just talking about random stuff. Literally. I mean, it's just how it was. I mean, but that's also something about me, unless I'm sure you've, like, noticed kind of in some of these episodes, like, we'll just go on a tangent and talk and talk and talk, and, like, that's just what we are, because we are so close, and, like, I trust her with my life. Like, I mean...
Aww. Touche.
Aww, you mean it?
Yeah, that was so sweet. But I also feel like we know when we need our own time, too.
Yeah, now. So, I would say now.
Yeah, completely. But, yeah, I feel like after in Smyrna, it was just a lot healthier, like, our friendship and stuff. And then, really when, like, I went and did the internship in Missouri after we graduated college, and then we had, like, moved out of the Smyrna house. I went to and did an internship in Missouri, and
I lived in my current house I'm in still right now.
Yeah, and you did an internship, and that was, like, the longest we had been apart since we had met.
Yeah, like, so we were together for 4 years
for, like, 3.5 months.
I remember when she left, I was, like, crying, so I was like, dude, I don't know what to do without you. I was like, what am I gonna do?
And I was just crying because I won't.
She was like, I won't cry, and then she cried on the way, and she literally called me
I
as
called
she
Tracy
left on the way to Missouri.
every single day in Missouri.
Yeah.
Bawling my eyes out.
If she didn't call me, I was calling her because I was like,
yeah, but I feel like that was such a good season for us to kind of like blossom too and not be like. I mean, I feel like we can be reliant on our friends, and like I feel like I relied on you because we like walked through so many hard seasons together.
Yeah.
And I like feel like I flourished a lot in that season where I didn't have you like as my like not crutch but like.
No, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And
because I think it was the same way for me here.
Yeah, yeah. And then when we got back, obviously we started getting back into church and stuff, and I feel like that like God's really just blossomed our friendship in such a healthy light. Mm-hmm. And even like with your friendships, like having the Lord in the center of it, like it's been such a beautiful thing and such a blessing.
100%. Like, I just feel like God has, like, blessed the friendship even more because, like, I think obviously he brought us into each other's life for a reason. Like, I think a big reason Lex brought in my life is to bring me back into church, and she, like, helped me grow so much. So I really think that Lex, like, brought me, or he put Lex back in my life because... Back into my life like I knew you before.
Maybe.
Maybe. We may have crossed paths. Who knows? He put her in my path just, like, bring me back into church and bring me back into the light. And, like, I feel like in this last 6 months, 6 or 7, however long months that we've been going to church again, it has made our friendship so much stronger. Like, to me personally, I feel like our friendship's even grown more in the last 6 months than, like, I mean, we were always close. Yeah. Like, I was always like, oh, this girl's, like, my best friend. She'll always be my best friend. But, like, the past 6 months, I was just like, we've gotten so much closer. Mm-hmm. And maybe in my opinion.
No, I completely agree.
Yeah.
And it's nice being able to, like, come to you and, like, a couple years ago, like, we prayed over this episode before, and, like, 5 years ago, I would never have thought we'd be able to do that.
No, so not at all.
It's a blessing to have, like, a sister in Christ I can come to, and, like, we are so close, and you get those spiritual aspects that, you know, it's hard in this, like, world where we live with, like, such selfish intentions. So it's nice to have, like, a like-minded sister that's by my side in life. Yeah. So I completely agree. Yeah. Sweet words. So cute. Such a beautiful friendship moment right here.
It is. Wow. Nah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, as we talked about, like, our friendship's not always been peaches and cream.
No.
And we've gone through some, like, rocky patches, but I also, like, have always loved you to death. Like, you've been my best friend, and we've said hurtful things to each other, but like, there's a lot of grace that is needed in friendships, and a lot of people I feel like don't think about that. And learning your friends and knowing their hearts, like learning how they need to be loved in a friendship and all that is so important. And I feel like that's not talked about a lot in friendships because it's just so like friendships are so natural.
It's not a relationship, but it is a relationship.
Yeah, and I feel like the older you get, and when you're walking through things, especially, it's just important to know your friends' hearts and how they need to be loved and the way that they take things and the way that they process things. And so, even though we went through Mount Everest,
it was bad
and
it
back, but it like reflecting on that, it's been such like a blessing. I feel like in our friendship, you know.
Yeah, no, I completely agree too, because it's so it's so like crazy to think about it and like where we've come out, and it's like I want to encourage whoever might be going through like a hard friendship, and it's like, you know, that those person, like, you want that person in your life and you see them like in your life long term, like it's just like a normal relationship. Like, if you want it to work, it'll work. You just have to figure out maybe like giving those people more grace, praying about it, praying about their heart, praying about their mindset, and like if they're struggling, maybe ask them. Just be like, hey, like, is there something you need to talk about? Because bringing something to the light, especially in a friendship, in my opinion, is so strong, because people are afraid to confront. And I can say that being the person that used to be afraid to confront. Yeah. I wouldn't speak my mind. I wouldn't say if I was upset about something. And now I've switched it to the point where it's like, I have to say something or I'm going to explode.
Yeah. Confrontation is so, and like, I feel like with our other girls too, like we have such a good foundation in our friendships because of the we're allowed to come and have hard conversations with each other. Like if I'm upset about something or frustrated about something that was done, like I can easily go to my girls and talk to them about that.
Yeah.
And it's not something you get to, like that place is not an easy place to get to.
No,
you know, it takes
hard.
Time and trust in your friendships. But it also is like such a healthy place to be in, and being able to openly like go to you and say if something's wrong with, like, I'm upset about something you said or whatever. And that is like, I feel like we talk about this a lot recently, like such a big blessing in our friendships with like us and the girls.
Definitely.
And I feel like that truly is why it is so healthy. Like you don't have that built up whatever, even if it's a small thing. Like that's why we got in arguments. Like you would say something small to me and I wouldn't say anything about it.
I wouldn't either.
And it just builds up and it just makes you like resentful, and that's just not healthy. So I think even bringing small things like, hey, that kind of bothered me, and don't even make it a big deal. It's done with, you got it out, and it's not building up, and you're not harping on something that was so small.
And it's like funny to like look at it now and be like, if something's like bothering me or like she said something, I'll look at her and be like, hey, like immediately, because I'm like,
I know the hey look too. I'm like, let me prepare.
I'm like, you're like, where's this gonna go? What did I do?
But also, I think it's important too on the receiving side. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Not being defensive, like allowing your friends to come and talk to you and being open and accepting of what they have to say and understanding. That's and also
owning
really
up
important
if you
too.
messed up.
Yeah.
Like owning up, be like, yeah, you're right. I did say that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, how do we move past this? Like, or just what do you need me to do from this point on? Like, if it's something big, what do you need to do? If it's something small, be like, okay, I'm so sorry. Let's move on.
I completely agree. And I think we were in a class last night, and I think in your friendships, like being the person that people ask, like, who does that? You know?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Being that
I
person
love
in your
that.
friendships, like, if your friend's upset or they're having a really, really bad night and you go and drive to them and they're like, who does that at 2 a.m? Like,
or just
be that
stay
person.
on the phone with them for however long they need it, you know?
Yeah. So, friendships are important, and if you're struggling, like, obviously, don't let people walk over you. If it's not a healthy friendship, like there's some friendships are made for a season for a reason.
Yeah.
And that's okay, and it's hard to accept that, but it's also like that is the case in some, like that is the thing in some cases. And so, but when you know you have a great friendship and a good like foundation, like be graceful and be there for hard conversations and put the pride aside in the hard conversations. And
support what they need too sometimes, because sometimes all they need is just like an ear. They don't need advice, they don't need opinions, they just need someone to listen.
We have a friend that doesn't really like advice.
Oh,
like,
she
doesn't want to hear it.
Yeah, no.
But she needs to talk about it, and she just needs ears. And so we know we just need to be the ears for her. And then when she wants to know our opinions, she'll let us know. Yeah, she'll be like, what should I do? And we're like, okay, so. And that's why, again, it's so important to know your friends and who they are and how they receive things. And the older we get, I feel like I'm understanding that so much more now.
It's also, I think, the growth of, like, respecting the friendships that we do have now, and respecting, like, you, and respecting all the other girls in our group, and, like, everybody receives things so differently, and it's so beautiful to see, like, how we all do and how we all mesh into our friendship as well.
Yeah, and how we're all so different.
We're all so different, too.
Yeah, fun
We're
stuff.
all similar, but so different in the same instances. It's great. It's great, though. I love it. I absolutely love it. But
it is a blessing. But yeah, so if you guys like are struggling at all, have questions about our friendship in general, we've walked through a lot. So maybe you're struggling with a friend right now and you need advice or anything, like please feel free to reach out to us. I hate to say it, but we've probably walked through it.
Probably. I'm telling y'all, we went into the dirt. Like we really were mean.
Yeah.
We were mean to each other.
We were mean to each other. We were, honestly. That's really why we have some strong backgrounds.
But look where we are now.
We gotta stop. Anyways, well, we love you guys. Thanks for tuning in for yet another week of Then
and
Now. See you guys next week.
Thank
Bye.
you. Why does it thank you?